Pirates got clipped last night, but they have a chance to take 3 out of 4 here as the homestand concludes. Today, the Cincinnati Reds are the foe here at PNC Park. And getting the ball today, Jameson Taillon, building off of a tying career best, 9 strikeouts in his last outing of victory, his first time around. And welcome into the booth. Happy Sunday to you. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you here today. And Jameson Taillon, whenever he gets the ball, you feel pretty good about that. And he'll try to build off a strong outing against the Redlegs here this afternoon.
I definitely agree with you. When he gets the ball, I feel like we got a great chance to win the ball game. Last time out, what was really great for me was that fastball command. He really was able to move it up and down, in and out, hit some spots. And then, of course, once he gets that established, then the curveball, he just went to town with that. And he'd bounce it for the swing and miss strikeouts. He'd start guys off with it in the strike zone for a strike. It's all about command with him. Hopefully, he's got that same command, maybe pitches to contact a little bit more. I want to see him go deeper in the ball game.
And yesterday the Pirates built that 4-0 lead early, but they fell 7-4. And the bullpen so far in the early part of this season has not always been able to hold the lead. And if he does go deeper in the game, that might help his pen.
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about. 6 innings for sure, maybe 7 innings. That would be fantastic. But the bullpen, they need some more time, I think, to get themselves straightened out there. Got to start throwing a few more strikes. You see the walks per 9 innings up almost 5.5. That's too many.
And Taillon versus Tyler Mahle of the Reds today on a Kids Day here on this Sunday. Come on out and watch some baseball. It's the Pirates and the Reds coming out right after this here on AT&T Sports Net. From the Reds as the homestand concludes here on this Sunday Kids Day. And a great tradition is back for 2018. The kids taking the field with the Pirates. They sign an autograph. The first one, Colin Moran, signs as a Bucko. Jay Hay has done this a few times, and great to see the 79 tribute unis back as well. And
they are good looking uniforms. Nice color combo. Of all the combinations they wore back in the day, this was I think by far the best looking.
Gregory Polanco back in the lineup today too. That's good to see that he's out there in right. Who can I make it out to? Jameson Tyone has signed his autograph. Now he's going to get ready to face the Redlegs 9 this afternoon. And Jesse Winker, you see, is going to start things for Brian Price's bunch. Eugenio Suarez, 5 RBIs, tied a career high last night. Then Joey Votto with Scooter Gennett cleaning up. Adam Duvall hits 5th. Tucker Barnhart moves up to 6th with Peraza 7th. Tyler Malley, the pitcher, will bat 8th. And the second time in the series, Billy Hamilton will be in the 9th spot.
Yeah, first time out, Tyone really had the strikeout going. I mean, 9 Ks, no walks. Control was absolutely fantastic. So, looking for innings out of him today. Hopefully they'll let him throw a few more pitches than they've been doing and maybe strike out a few less and be a little more efficient.
And try to have that Honda defense help them out. Dickerson, Marte, and Polanco in the outfield with Moran, Mercer, Harrison, and Bell, and Cervelli doing the catching. And Polanco back in the lineup after fouling a ball off his right foot a couple of days ago. Sat out yesterday. Back and ready to go. And so are we, with the sun starting to peek out just as we're going to get started. So put those sunglasses on. It is a cold but pleasant here today with very little breeze at all, and the sun peeking out. The boys of winter are back out for one more. It'll start warming up here. We've had a silly week of weather here in the first one of April. They say 35 to start today. Winker, who grew up in Niagara Falls, has had a lot of fun seeing some family here this weekend. Not a lot of fun facing him, though.
Yeah, hopefully Tyone will have him over a barrel.
And the Winker ahead of the count, 2-1. Now you talk about Tyone's breaking stuff you were saying in the pregame show.
His curveball I thought was very good at first start. That's not a bad one right there that he just missed with. Actually, you look at the strike zone, you can see that according to data, it was a strike.
Comes back and gets one there.
Just like the 5th pitch was.
Convincing Greg Gibson. Works the plate today. Vic Carapazzi at first. Jordan Baker at second. Jerry Lane is the crew chief. Bundled up at third.
Strike 3. That's an old-fashioned strike 3 right there. Look at that location.
Winker gives a nod.
Watch the spot here. Hey, you want to quicken up the games? Go back to the old strike zones.
What a wider plate, I guess.
Wider plate. They didn't give you that tall strike. I mean, nothing up high would be called a strike, but they'd give you a little bit on each side of the plate as long as you were proving that you had pretty good control. I mean, if you were all over the place, they're not going to give you anything. But
they kind of flipped the rectangle on his belly, right?
There you go. Exactly. Always like the sleeping strike zone.
Yeah. Tyone, who, as you mentioned, Bob, trying to see if he can go a little bit deeper today. That has been a theme really throughout baseball. I was looking it up today. The Pirates haven't had a pitcher getting out in the 7th yet, a starting pitcher. And there have been 10 teams that still have not had a starting pitcher recorded out in the 7th yet this year, out of the 30 teams.
You see the umpire in over that inside corner. There you go.
A couple of spectators against Jamison Tyone.
Back in the days, they used to have National League umpires and American League umpires. They would get, that's a National League stance there where you get over that inside corner. American League umpires, they'd go right over the top of the catcher's head. And they used to tell me that was because in the American League, they use those chest protectors on the outside. And so they would get right behind the catcher. They look straight down at the strike zone. The inside chest protector supposedly allowed the National League umpires to get right in on his shoulder up close.
Now you have to go back probably early 80s. Last time you saw those. Ron Luciano comes to mind. You know, some of those.
Yeah, it'd have to go back.
Balloon
yeah, I mean, I know it's
chest
a long
protectors.
Time. But they used to be little tiny differences about where they would stand on the bases. National League and American League umpires position themselves a little differently.
Softly hit, got in on the hands of Votto, and a very tidy 1-2-3 first inning for Jamison Tyone, and now the Bucks get their chance to swing the bat. For the Buccos here today with Harrison and Polanco back in there ahead of Starling Marte. Moving up the old-time steals list. Bell, Dickerson, and Cervelli in the middle. Moran, Mercer, and Tyone round out bottom third for Clint Hurdle's Buccos.
Tyler Mahle, one of the better young pitchers in baseball. I think you know, they have a lot of high expectations for this young man. They think that he will be, you know, one of the better pitchers in baseball at some point. As a combination of good stuff and good command, very similar to Tyone.
He's already faced the Pirates twice in his first 5 major league starts. See if familiarity breeds contempt or not. One time very good, one time so-so results. But having that kind of composure for a young pitcher, you know, that's when you knew Jamison Tyone was special. Just, you know, starting to get to talk to him and see how he ticks. That very quick first inning. And a chance to go talk to some of the Reds yesterday, and some of Tyone's ex-teammates that are over there pointed out that that's who Mahle reminds them of, is Jamison Tyone. And so in terms of that, you know, the good stuff, but also the most importantly, the rare ability as a young pitcher to just brush things aside, be able to be even keeled and know what you need to do to get outs.
Confidence.
Were you like that when you first started?
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
Even in the World Series, your first year, and
brush things aside, nothing bothered me. Does that sound like me? Maybe now that I'm older and I'm kind of like,
well, you don't get mad anymore.
I'm Gumby
so.
now. No, I never
Yeah.
get mad.
You even told us that.
Yeah.
Count's still full on Harrison.
Darn right I told you that. Don't forget it.
Where did that get him?
On the toe.
Yeah. Put all the shields you want on, they're still going to find a way, and that stuff adds up, as Polanco can attest to. Polanco fouled a ball off his right foot a couple of days ago. And just because you take the field or take first base or what have you doesn't mean it stops hurt. Nice long at bat by Josh Harrison to start things. We talk about pitching deep into the ball games, and we pointed to the Pirates bullpen. The Reds bullpen has also allowed 21 runs so far in this young year. Only the Marlins have allowed more.
Well, they look like the nasty boys of 1990 yesterday.
That was a good, well-pitched bullpen effort by the Reds, but you know, last year the poorest bullpen in baseball, along with the Tigers in terms of ERA. Well, a dozen to start at least for Jay. I mean, an inning's worth of pitches here. That might get into that Reds bullpen a little earlier just because of this at bat. Jeff Branson's got to be happy about that. Normally a first pitch swinger, right? Now he's been swinging plenty.
Yeah,
he's just fouled off 7 in a row.
He's almost an every pitch swinger at this in this at bat, but just hitting everything a little wide of the mark. And maybe he's going to center this one up. A little separation in his hands.
And after a Baker's dozen, Harrison works the walk. And Gregory Polanco missed the game yesterday, wasn't available. He did continue to play the rest of the game on Friday after fouling the ball off his foot, but when he woke up on Saturday, just did not feel right. A late scratch to the lineup Saturday night, but he's back in there here this afternoon. Good thing Pirates could use his bat. He's gotten off to a torrid start.
The Pirates last night got off to a great start.
Yeah, they did.
Jumped out to a 4-0 lead their first couple innings.
Picks up right where he left off. So a 1-pitch at bat for Polanco. So you go from a 13-pitch marathon, and right there, Polanco ready to go as we look at our Allegheny Health Network Super Mode.
You know, you think about it. I don't know if this is what was going through Polanco's mind, but the guy just threw 13 pitches to start the game off with the first hitter. He's going to start me off with something right down the middle.
Great point.
So Polanco was ready for it. Jumped on it, hit it hard.
And Malley already in a bit of a pickle. 2 on, nobody out. Marte extended his on-base streak to 20 games. That dates back to last season. Longest ongoing streak in the National League. Base hit yesterday. Some yellow shirts out there trying to knock him in.
That is a sharp looking unit, isn't it? Got a text from Teak a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Reminding me last time They won the World Series. This is what they wore in Game 7.
This combination. I hadn't thought about
gold tops with the black bottoms.
Some of Marte's friends here.
Picture Teak out there and wearing that uni right now.
Oh yeah, it is 1979. Of course, Pops co-MVP that year. And great to have been able to work with Kent DeColby. It was an honor for me, and great to talk with him down at spring training. He's enjoying his retirement, still at the ballpark here and there, certainly. And welcoming Michael McHenry aboard. Talked with him just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Teak saved my first Pirate win.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've always worked well together.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Marte working the count. 2 aboard, still nobody out. Pirates looking to strike first as they did last night. We talked about Malley's mental makeup and how a lot of people have praised that. Well, this will test his mettle here right away in the first inning. This one will be fouled away. Seen a lot of foul balls. By my count, 11 so far here in this first inning. Brian Price, a former pitching coach, along with bench coach Jim Riggleman on the Reds bench. Another 2-2. Out to right. Hooker gets the first out. Jay Hayes tagging. And he'll get in. So it goes as a productive out for Marte.
Jay Hay had to really hustle on what normally would get him over to third base easily. He was a little bit late getting back to tag, so he kind of hung out there in no man's land for a second and had to run back after the ball was caught to touch the base and move on into third.
And now a fly ball can score him. Suarez playing even with the bag at third. Bell trying to clean it up. 3-3-3 for Mr. Bell. Went for it there. Now 2-1. There's Harrison at third. Polanco trails him at first. And a favorable count, 3-1. Having trouble commanding that changeup so far in this first inning.
Good. Glad to see it.
Well, the Pirates, you know, this is something that we were talking about a lot at spring training, but the left-handed batters that they have with power. On 3-1, Jeanette will get the second out. But you got some more lefty batters with power in this lineup for the Pirates. First, the Reds defense: Duvall, Hamilton, and Winker in the outfield. Suarez, Peraza, Jeanette, and Votto around the horn. Tucker, Barnhart, Gold, Glover behind the plate. first of his career. And a very fine defensive catcher. There he is. But, you know, guys like a Bell, who's a switch hitter, but bats left very often. The Dickerson here. I was thinking about how this ballpark may play into their power, but also something secondarily. You got so many right-handed starting pitchers in the division. They're going to throw them changeups a lot, right? I mean, that's a popular pitch if they throw one, right, to try to get lefties out. Well, usually a changeup isn't the first or second best offering for most starting pitchers, and so maybe the Pirates can benefit from that. How does that strike you at all?
Yeah, I mean,
just having some more balance in that lineup might help the Pirates long term this year.
I agree.
It's a thought. Certainly the way that Dickerson has swung the bat against the Reds. You get this series, and overall in his National League career, has pleased Clint Hurdle, that's for sure. .400 against the Reds lifetime. Malley comes back to get out of it. A 29 pitch inning, but after 2 on and nobody out, he strands him. And we're scoreless through 1.
Of Bordas and Bordas. Bordas and Bordas, fighting for justice. And by Day Automotive, we're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Second inning on tap. Glad you're with us here on this Sunday afternoon here in beautiful Pittsburgh. Pirates will have to pack up and hit the road. At 35 at game time. Luckily, almost no wind to speak of. We saw that earlier this week. Beautiful February day. What happened to the weather? It's not just here in Pittsburgh, it's been everywhere. Chicago tomorrow, they're going to have their opener. It's going to be very chilly there. We've played in snow this week.
It was snowing this morning at my house when I got in the car to come here. It was big flakes.
You had big flakes,
and they were coming down as hard as you could want. I mean, maybe it snowed for 10 minutes, but still, it's like, look at the calendar. What's going on?
I haven't had to cut my grass yet, at least. So that gone. 4 quick outs for Tayo.
Heck of a year to start the season so early.
Yeah, of all things, yeah, baseball expanded their schedule by 4 days, not by 4 games, but 4 days in order to get the players some more off days. That began this season, so that's why we began in March. But hey, you wear your coat. Get a rally towel today. All the kids getting those. Got a lollipop, maybe some crab fries. Everything's good. Dad's happy. It's going to warm up. Adam Duvall has stayed cool so far this season.
Is that good? First pitch curveball strike. That seems like Tyone can just throw that one at will.
Is it me, or has that pitch gotten sharper the more and more we've seen?
It's always been pretty good, but
yeah.
I mean, it's been looking good of late. Now you see how once he throws strike one, now he tries to lead the hitter out of the strike zone with the next pitch.
So that was more intentional.
Oh yeah. First pitch in the strike zone, and then the next one you just miss a little bit with.
Especially a big swinger like Duvall, good fastball hitter, right?
The further ahead in the count you are, the better you have to locate your off-speed stuff. Because most hitters, as they get behind in the count, they get a little more defensive. They start staying back a little bit more. So the best pitch they can see is, in their minds, is something off speed that's in the middle of the plate, because they'll be right on time for that because they're being a little defensive.
Didn't get this call. He thought he had his third strikeout looking. Look at that late movement on that fastball too.
Whole baseball in there.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Location wise. Well, just get one swinging. How about that?
Counts right.
Well, now Tyone's already got 3 strikeouts, and you were saying, Bob, you don't want him to get a lot of strikeouts today because
just
his
3
pitch count.
I want him to get 3.
Okay.
He's done that now. Nice four-seamer. He didn't really miss his hit his spot. You saw where the target was at the knees, outside corner. He ended up throwing it right down the middle and swing and a miss.
But only 21 pitches. He's gotten 5 outs. You can work with that. So even though he's had the strikeouts, they've been quick.
Yeah, generally speaking, not generically speaking, generally. You get the strikeouts up, you're going to get your pitch count up. You got to be at least throwing a little bit of contact.
Reds have only put a couple of balls in play today so far. Either strongly struck. That one hit better, but got a man there. Tyone quickly out of the second inning. He's rolling right along through 2 innings. In Pittsburgh. And let's look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update for the Brewers. A couple of tough blows. Corey Knebel just the other day Going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with that left hamstring. They blew a save yesterday with Jacob Barnes, and now today they place Christian Yelich on the 10-day DL with an oblique concern. And so the big trade acquisition that they had in the offseason already on the shelf here early on. Guy that has been healthy is Francisco Cervelli. Doesn't look like much at $160, but those 4 RBIs, I would say 3 of those, if not all 4, 2 out RBIs, kind of, in pivotal times in the games, and has looked spry.
He was just
healthy,
crushing the ball all spring training.
Malley needed 29 pitches to get through the first, but Pirates, after having first and second, nobody out, did not score.
What does that look like right there?
I got a little bug in my ear that.
Look at him.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Steve.
Yeah, throw some sideburns on him.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as soon as Pete Tomar, our director, saying that, with I mean, as soon as he said that, I go, wow, that's uncanny. Steve on the right. Down the line, Curley.
Yeah, it's hooking. There it is.
Wow,
how about that?
Look at the same cut of the jib too, right? Look at that.
Oh, what do you think, Todd? I got a text about that just a few moments ago. It's amazing how quickly we can.
Everybody can communicate throughout the world.
Oh, what a crazy thing! And
Riley comes back to strike him out on 8 pitches.
Todd Riley is a Hall of Famer from the down to the Dream Week stuff. And he sent me a text. And
look at this.
He said it's crazy looking at him out there, and I agree. It is pretty amazing.
I hope Steve sees that. Yeah, I mean, that's
nice job, guys.
Everybody in the truck.
Quick work down there.
Yeah, seeing that and then putting that together.
Tyler Graham went to work real quick on that one.
Who does Colin no, just remind you of?
Just Ragnar.
Yeah.
Ragnar the Terrible, or Ragnar the Explorer. Who knows? You just pick a Viking.
Yeah, that's halfway there.
Saw an interesting thing on the internet.
Now that's pretty good. Take the glasses off.
It was like 20 headshots of Colin.
Oh, this is a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I saw that too. Yeah.
You know, his happy face, disgusted face, curious face. It really is funny when you look at it.
He's quite stoic. Votto. And the Reds get the second out.
Votto thought it was 3. How about that? Even Hall of Famers can make mistakes. Get back out there.
Emphatically showing that there are 2 outs, as if to demonstrate him. Yeah, we caught you.
Yeah, everybody saw that.
Yeah, shake it off a little bit. Yeah, day game after a night game. I tell you, the guys, we've been talking about the weather, but finally playing some night games the last few days. That's been a change for guys who have played pretty much all day games. Even in Detroit, they were all day games. Opening day here was a day game. So just finally starting to get into that regular baseball group, playing every day for the first time again. They didn't play every day in spring training. We had all the postponements and such in Detroit. The off day built in after opening day here in Pittsburgh. Finally, now you're playing every day again. So guys finally getting into some routines. That's what baseball's all about, right? I mean,
Routine.
6 months to just wake up, play ball. Good to have you back along with us. Baseball on a Sunday afternoon. That pitch was called a ball. That was on the inner third of the plate. Pirates will take the charity. Mercer's been swinging a good bat in the series. His 7th hit of the series. And he walks into second with a 2-base hit with 2 outs.
That number 8 spot again. You gotta do your best up there. 2 outs, nobody on. Get a knock. Turn that lineup over. Hustled down the first and made a left turn with the second.
Now you make sure the pitcher gets up.
Oh, looky here.
They're going to wave him. Here comes Mercer, and he is safe. Pirates start off on top. RBI single, Jamison Tyone.
Yeah, so much for just turning the lineup over, getting the pitcher out of the way for next inning. Tyone gets up there, and we're taking the lead. That hanging breaking ball, almost a tomahawk. Good strong throw, but it's up the line. If it's on the plate, like right now, if it's on the plate, obviously he's going to be out. But it's so easy for an outfielder to miss left or right by just 5-6 feet. And that gives you that opportunity to sneak in.
And you talk about with 2 outs, why not?
Always. Go ahead. And unless it's just, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm out by, a country mile. But, if you think, okay, if he makes a good, strong throw right on the plate, I'm going to be out. Doesn't matter. Keep going. Because they don't do that every time. They might not even do that half the time. It's going to be left a little bit, going to be right a little bit.
This has been a wobbly strike zone so far today. That was called a strike. For both pitchers, it's been unpredictable so far. So swing the bats, right? Pirates get the game's first run. Jamison Tyone having some fun.
2018 silver medalist in the Olympic Games in the 1,000-meter short track speed skating. He is a native of Peters Township, Pennsylvania, and now we are pleased to be joined by the medalist, John Henry. What's this like for you to represent not only your country, but the city and the surrounding area of Pittsburgh as an Olympic silver medalist?
I think representing Pittsburgh was actually part of my main focus for this year. For some of my equipment colors on my boots, I made sure to get, black and gold or some variation of yellow. Also with my gloves, I was the only Olympic athlete from Pittsburgh this year, so I definitely wanted to show as much Pittsburgh pride as possible and, bring attention to a city that doesn't get too much worldwide attention.
How do you describe that feeling as you cross the finish line, knowing that you are a medalist and no one is ever going to be able to take that away from you for the remainder of your life?
Yeah, it was a huge moment of relief. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're expected to win all the medals if you're an underdog. Whenever you win an Olympic medal, it's like it's a huge, unbelievable moment.
So as we look forward to you, how much is Beijing and 2022 in your sights?
2022 is quite a ways away from now, but it's in my sights, and I definitely plan to be going for 2022. Hopefully get a gold there as well.
Now, one other thing is, you look back to your training. You left Pittsburgh, Peters Township, Pittsburgh area at 16 years old. For the last 7 years, you've been all over the world training. What is that process like to put yourself in position to win?
It's what I had to do to get the results I wanted in Korea. Not all the training works for, all the athletes the same way. It's about fine-tuning your craft and finding out what works for you the best way. So it meant from going to Pittsburgh to Salt Lake to Korea, and then Korea to the Netherlands.
How about when you look at these guys, the Pirates, look at other professional athletes, what kind of admiration do you have for these guys competing at the highest of their craft as well?
I don't know what to say. The dream is to always be like a top athlete, and I guess you use the Penguins, the Steelers, and the Pirates to use them as an inspiration to be at the top and to represent Pittsburgh.
Fantastic. Well, John Henry, congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Now, Joe, this medal, this thing is about, I don't know, a pound or 2 pounds. He put this on for the interview, but you can't walk around for too long with this gigantic thing around your neck. You'll get neck pains eventually.
Me, certainly, yeah, I'd fall over. I don't weigh very much. But no, thank you, John Henry. Thanks, Robbie, for sharing that, too. You think about the perseverance. I mean, Bob, you would have to, prep 4 days for a start. They have to prep 4 years for their moment, and they get one chance in their event, and that's it. And then they have to wait another 4 years if they don't medal or if they don't win.
An incredible achievement to be able to get any kind of medal in the Olympics, no matter what sport you're in. They definitely have the admiration of everybody. And I prepped about an hour and a half, not 4 days.
Okay. now these days, when you're,
I do a lot of prep here.
Now these days when you're doing the games, though, as a broadcaster, you've got,
tons of
reams of information on the pitching, the hitters. So you've got,
look at all this stuff.
He puts together these pie charts.
I got all these things highlighted here.
Yeah.
I go through the highlighting ink like you can't believe.
Yeah, that's it.
It's amazing.
Now you do 4 days worth of work. I don't know how you do it in 1 day. It's pitcher's day at the plate. Tyler Mahle with his second career hit. Tyler Mentmore, though, driving in the only run so far. Got to put on a jacket. So earlier in this series, one of the Reds pitchers, Luis Castillo, tried to put on a hooded sweatshirt. Can't do that.
Has to be a jacket, huh?
158 for Billy Hamilton, batting behind the pitcher in the order.
He's got a logo on his helmet today.
That's right. I had a just plain red batting helmet yesterday. Probably when he was running, it peeled off. He runs so fast.
Yeah. That had to be the answer.
Now,
you know what I think?
Yes.
I think that he couldn't wear his regular helmet because he had a hood on underneath it.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I think. Could be wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe the seat just peeled off from high speed.
Hamilton, very fast, but you know, his career, he's, you know, the last 4 seasons he's been an everyday player, and among all the everyday guys in baseball, he has the lowest OPS out of them all. His problem's been, how do you get on base? 'Cause once he's on base, obviously he wreaks havoc. So Ryan Price putting him in the 9 spot for the 2nd time in this series. Tough to double him up. Don't even try it.
You know, let me ask you a question though. You know, OPS is a big part of that is slugging percentage, right?
Sure. Well, half, yeah.
Okay. So a lot of those guys with a good OPS, they build that up by hitting doubles. Well, with him, a walk or a single is essentially a double, sometimes a triple, and that's not reflected in his OPS.
Yeah, there's some better statistics that do incorporate stolen
Oh,
bases.
I knew there would be. Yeah.
But let's just go with on base percentage then for Hamilton, right? Just to get on base, he's just under 300 in his career. It means that 70% of the time he does not get on base.
Well, but this is what I'm saying is okay.
But when he does get on base, a single
It's a
turns
double.
into a double.
So
or a walk turns into a double.
So now throw out all these other
Right.
guys singles. So what's their percentage of hitting doubles?
He's more valuable on base at first base than just about anybody, if not at more than anybody.
He doesn't hit singles. My point is he hits doubles.
I like what you're saying, and you do have to incorporate that.
And
you
I'm
still need
sure
him to get on
there's
base more, though.
There's a stat. You're not really understanding what
No,
I'm saying.
I'm saying that you could just take out those singles and turn them into doubles.
If you compare how many times he's standing at second base as compared to how many times somebody else is standing at second base,
It's still less.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, but
You think it is still less?
I still think it's less because it is so low. But I know what you're saying. No, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. You need him still to get on base a little bit more, though, I think, because of that great value. Now, if he got on base 330, which is about average, think about all the different times throughout the season that he's standing at second base. If he laid down a few more bunts, maybe he walked a few more times, right? A few more slap singles instead of some fly balls. That's what the Reds have been dealing with all those years. And I'm underscoring what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you in a disagreeable way.
I think so.
And that's why he's got to bat 9th today instead of being the leadoff man, because he just doesn't get on base enough, in my opinion. Mercer only plays to first. So the hit by Malley, the lone base runner against Tyone, through 3. Penn State. General admission just $10 with discounts for students and Pirate season ticket holders. Gates will open at 5:30. First pitch at 6:30. The Nittany Lions and the Mountaineers. Go to pirates.com/college baseball. 1-0 the Pirates on a Jamison Tyone run-scoring hit. Broncos had a few of those already entering play today. Top the leaderboard in the National League, tied with 11 runs batted in. .308 the average. Right to Votto. Unassisted. Now let's go back to 2016, our day automotive this day in Pirates history. Starling Marte beating the Reds with a grand slam off J.J. Hoover. Rude homecoming for the Elizabeth Forward High grad, and Marte coming through with that first career grand slam.
Looked cold that night also. He was actually wearing the mask when he hit that home run.
What a play by Peraza. Showing some great range at short. Thought that was a sure base hit.
That probably is at about 70% of the time.
Our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Plenty of coverage there. Lots of great looks all season long. Expanded views here at home. Josh Bell on a 3-1 pitch popped out his first time. Talking with Tyler Mahle yesterday, the Reds pitcher, about a perfect game that he threw in the minor leagues last season. And it's kind of a similar circumstance. You know, he's in some trouble. Was Mahle in that his final batter? He's 2-0 on him. And just like Bell was up ahead in the count with 2 men on. And what did Mahle do to Bell? He threw him a pitch right down the middle. And that's what Mahle did in that perfect game. He said, you know, I got the first 26 guys out. I'm just going to throw it down the middle and see what happens. And the next time he got out of it with a comebacker and had a perfect game.
Fourth inning. Toyota, what drives you?
It has been great to be back here at PNC Park this week. The season opening homestand wrapping up.
You got to love that 57 on the stack just over the PNC Park sign. That is about as Pittsburgh as you could get right there, huh? Beautiful. Nice shot, guys. I love that one.
Reds got to play catch up. They're down 1-0. You didn't grab that, did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
threw that by you. Oh, I threw one by you, Walkie. All right.
I was trying to figure out what camera that was.
Right, yeah.
I think it was a RoboCam that took that shot.
That was cool. That was
Splash
really cool.
Cam. Splash Cam got that shot. Nice job, Jerome.
There it is. Remotely run, and we get some of the coolest shots here at home. We got such a great crew. Watch out. Oh, boy.
Man, that one ran up and in. That got him good.
I think Cervelli was warning him as the pitch was coming in. That's what you were hearing. And no one likes to see that. Suarez, who had that big night, he was their hero last night, getting looked at. Hopefully it's just the cold that makes it feel bad and nothing more than that. But I'll take a look at him. It's a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
You can see the target is kind of up and in, and the ball just took off and ran. It didn't hit much of his hand. Might have just clipped his thumb, if anything.
And Suarez getting looked at. Suarez just inked a 7-year contract extension before the season. Cervelli was saying, "Look out!" Yeah, it looks like they're bracing that right thumb.
Watch the right thumb, and the ball is going to look like it pinches it right there.
Ooh, against the bat.
Against the bat.
Ooh. At least for the moment, he's going to stay in the game.
I think he had one of those donuts, those little foam donuts around his right thumb. Might have helped it a little bit, give it a little support as it got mashed into the bat. Maybe. He's putting ice on it now, so he's got it out in the air.
So Suarez hit with the pitch. We'll see if he stays in to play the field. Votto is the first out.
Wow, looks like the nail is
that's
turning a little purple.
Yeah.
Get a little blood under the nail.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very promising for Suarez to continue.
You know what you do is you get like a hat pin, you heat it up on the stove, and then just drills right down through there.
Home Remedies with Bob Walk, Sundays at 2.
Got to relieve that pressure.
You know, I could see you, when you wrap things up down the road, doing like a Sunday home improvement show or something on the radio.
No, wouldn't be home improvement.
Gardening tips with Bob, something like that, Well, those hydrangeas, they need a lot of water. I don't know. Ball heading toward the dugout. Joey Cora saying thank you. Good thing they have those protective fences in front of the dugouts. They've had those now for maybe 25 years or so.
I was just thinking though, one of the things it kind of can lull you into a little, a sense that you're invulnerable over there and you might not watch. Oh, that was another good pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When there's nothing there, you're watching the game, but now you got that fence there. Now maybe you're not watching like you should, and there are some little gaps here and there a ball could sneak through.
3 strikes.
Yep.
That's one way to get it out. How about 2?
That's a good thing we didn't strike him out, huh? Like it.
Jeanette grounds into the inning-ending double play. Bucks still up 1-0. Has come into the ball game as we expected. Eugenio Suarez not going to be able to play the field after getting that right thumb hit by a pitch. So Suarez, who was the big hero last night and signed that extension, we'll pass along any official word when we get it.
Think how that would feel every time you had to throw a ball. If that
could you even throw a ball across the field with no sensation in your thumb and swollen thumb?
Well, no, I think you'd have the sensation of like severe pain.
I guess yes, that would be.
No, it's all like all the pressure, the blood underneath there, it's just sitting there throbbing like that. The answer is yes, but you would probably really have to grit your teeth. And you wouldn't want to make very many throws.
Meanwhile, Malley has made 61 throws here. Just into the 4th inning. Dickerson. Boy, he's been hitting the ball hard in this series. But Hamilton records the first out. Hey, on Saturday, make your plans as Pirates Charities will be hosting the Pirates Home Run 5K and 10K, presented by Highmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Allegheny Health Network. And all participants are going to receive a Performance Tech shirt, Pirates ticket voucher, and a commemorative medal when you finish on the field at PNC Park. Registration still open. Go to pirates.com/homerun. Happy birthday, number 10. What a great age, huh? Great age to be a baseball fan, 10 years old.
It's a great birthday. You know, your first time in double figures. It's like an accomplishment.
I was talking about my 10th birthday today. Dan Hart, or a fine PR man, his daughters were here today on Kids Day, and one of them called me Joey. And I said, well, once I turned 10, I was not Joey anymore. I was just Joe. I'm old now. Cervelli hits it well, but plenty of time for Winker to get underneath it. So 2 up and 2 down. Malley has sent down 6 in a row now. And a look at our Point Park tweet, and this is what you're talking about earlier, Bob.
The confused look, the proud look, game face. That is being consistent right there.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Clothing Company sending that one out originally. Joe Musgrove. A lot of the players retweeting that to kind of have some fun with their new teammate.
Yep.
I guess Musgrove, his old teammate. Both with Houston last year. There's Joe Musgrove. He's supposed to get throwing again in the Chicago series, so still a ways away from action. Rand bounced out his only time.
Might need a little warm weather to loosen up that shoulder a little bit. What do you think?
Pirates will be in Miami next week. Second series of the
no, I'm just
6-day road
I'm
trip.
assuming that when we get back from this next road trip that spring will have finally arrived.
There it is. Wait.
I don't know. Is there?
Yeah.
Not much. It's there.
Yeah. I asked him about that the other day. You know, he attributes a lot of that growing up in a baseball family, just the even-keeled nature at the plate, at least. You know, down 0-2, just takes the ball the other way, no big deal.
Breaking ball. He takes a breaking ball the other way. I mean, that's a 2-strike approach.
Real solid.
You're not going out there trying to, jump on a fastball and pull it. You're going to stay back and wait as long as you can. So when that breaking ball starts off the plate and is now moving into that outside corner, you have it committed way early to your swing. So you're there right on time and hit the barrel to the bat line, drive to left.
He's been fun to watch hit. You know, in spring we didn't see a lot of extra bases, but still you could see the approach, and now that we're in the regular year, power is starting to come out for Moran. Entering the day today, 8 RBIs, 6th best in the league here in the early going. So two-out opportunity for Mercer. He's had a great series, 7 hits in the series already, doubled his first time. .360 for Mercer. Is it easier or tougher to bat in front of the pitcher a lot?
Depends on the scenario.
Yeah. Mercer is in that spot a lot. In that 8th position. That's a strike. Ran back.
There's some times where, you're not going to see anything to hit in that number 8 spot because the pitcher is not going to let you have a shot at driving in a run with the pitcher standing on deck and 2 outs. Those are when it's really difficult. And you got to make the decision, okay, do I walk here and leave it up to the pitcher, or do I expand my strike zone a little bit, maybe swing at something a little inside or a little outside and try to knock the ball, knock in the run myself.
It's not very often that the pitcher drives in the run.
No.
But it was in this case when Mercer got aboard. Taillon knocked him in. He's back to the mound with a 1-0 lead.
or the East Coast, but this is a little ridiculous. Even for baseball season, get a look at this. These are the game time temperatures for each of the games the Pirates have played this season. Only 3 days have been above 40, and they've gotten just one game above 50, and that was a couple days ago on Friday. And look at the last 2 days, 36 and 35. They've had 2 postponements in the first 3 days of the season. The average temperature has been under 40 this year for the first pitch temperature for Pirates games. And Joe and Bob, I have a little bit of bad news for you. When we get to Chicago tomorrow, you're looking at about 36, 37 degrees at first pitch. So I know that booth in Wrigley is going to be just a little bit windy, so please bring your hand warmers. Bob, bring that crazy hat that you had, crazy coat, and just be ready, okay, guys?
Wait a minute. It's going to be cold at Wrigley Field. My goodness.
But we got a trip to Miami coming up at the end of the week. Can't wait. How about maybe 50, 55 degree change of temperature?
Yeah, so I brought shorts and a parka, so we're all set. Renegades don't care. Perfect day for some ice cream.
No, not though. You can eat it slow, take your time. You got to worry about it melting.
That's a great point. The 3-inning ice cream.
Yep.
See, you're always glass half full.
Looking at the those temperatures we had there, I know at least a couple of those games, by the time the game was over, it was below freezing.
Yeah.
It has been a challenging first couple weeks here with those temperatures.
Cool had a red nose by the end of the game yesterday.
Capture, Tucker, the winds
early on in the week.
Yeah,
and in
the
Detroit,
the wind chill factors had to be pretty impressive. Also,
one of the games was in the low 20s to start. So baseball weather coming. We appreciate the folks who have come out too. I'll tell you that. Just ready to watch some baseball again.
Yeah, the challenging weather affects the fans as much as anybody. They don't have those dugouts with the big heaters going on. They go hide in for half an inning.
Barnhart, deep but playable, and 2 gone. I'll tell you what, though, when you go football game, this is a good day for a football game, right? You go out and you sit out there for 3 hours or 3.5 hours, and you dress for the weather. So I guess we're not used to it, but Troy and Kevin out there, they're prepared for all fronts. Get that thermos full of some hot chocolate. 5-10 layers. How about Tyone today? A 5-pitch inning. He's at 54 pitches through 5 and a 1-hit shutout so far.
Barrel Automotive. Check out barreltires.com and never overpay for tires again. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
That sounds nice. On a chilly day, a plate of hot pierogies.
Little snowflakes blowing around in the air.
Some haluski to go with it. That would be pretty good today.
Pierogies are about as popular as you can get when they go through those stands. All the kids come down.
Hello, Oliver Onion.
If you could be a pierogi for the day, which one would you pick?
Oliver Onion.
Oliver
They'd be
Onion?
spectacled one, yeah. Kind of look like him.
Ooh. Lined right over the head of one of the pierogies.
Oh, boy, there he is. Oliver Onion.
Yeah.
Purple cap. You can see the resemblance, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't have the bow tie, though, do you?
It's hidden underneath my scarf here. I've dressed for the cold weather today, unlike you, Bob, who dyed your hair for the.
No, I got.
What is that? Oh, no, that's a hat. What is
my
that?
hat on there. It's got,
Oh.
Robbie said to make sure I got that silly hat for Chicago, so I went and pulled it out of my bag. I'm test fitting it right now.
It is, yeah, that's.
I've had this baby for a long
That's
time.
really good, yeah. You could do that too with the mohawk.
I really like that mohawk.
Yeah. There's your standard fare right there. I like. Now that's more like it, right?
That's for when it's real cold there. A little extra fur. There's a classic. Anything to keep the ears covered.
Need those today. See if Harrison can work another long at bat here. You know, this kind of set the tone for this game as Malley is set to throw his 80th pitch already. Trying to get into that Reds bullpen that, although last night they were good, they have not been good for most of this season. A 13 pitch at bat back in the first. And for Harrison, that was a career most. What, he fell off 8 pitches?
That was a bunch.
And here he is again with a full count. 29 in the first, 22 in the second.
Those long counts with him are unusual because he loves to swing the bat.
And find a base hit.
But he has that knack for fouling pitches off, so he gets those long pitch at bats as much, you know, with his bat fouling everything off than anything else.
See now if he can get knocked around here in this 1-0 game. 1-out single for Josh Harrison ahead of Gregory Polanco. Look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders, and in the National League, runs batted in leaders, he's right there among the tops. Michael Franco, grand slam last night. Freddie Freeman and the Braves, who lead baseball in runs scored in the early going. Oh hum, Bryce Harper on that list too. He's always there, right? Somewhere near the leaders in all those categories, if he's healthy. Polanco base hit his first time on a first pitch that he saw.
ever notice how that Jay Hay, after a pickoff throw, as soon as the ball goes back to the pitcher, how quickly he almost defiantly marches off that base? A lot of guys will stand there on the bag for a second, you know, and kind of catch their breath. He bounces right up, boom, he's back off.
I'm going right back here.
Yep.
Already a steal this year. Pirates has an outfit 5 for 10 trying steals this year. I think we see more of that, catchers trying to throw it behind runners, or is that always been that way?
Yeah, I've always thought it depends on who the catcher is. You know, guys around the league that like to do that. Some guys will never do it. I think that's where scouting reports really come in big. You know who's going to throw behind you and who's not.
I think in our division, Molina, you know, even at third base, he'll throw down to third sometimes. I think one of the Pirates got caught last year. Strolling down third.
I think Molina does a nice job of not overdoing it, though. You know, I think, yeah, he'll throw down, but he does it when he really, in his mind, okay, I got a good shot at this. He knows what the penalties are when you throw one away. Because it's not like a no risk deal to fling one down to a base.
Is it more effective for the catcher to throw over once in a while to keep the runner honest, or Polanco out to right, and he's got a long home run. What a start to the season for Gregory Polanco.
13 RBIs.
That 2-run shot makes it a 3-0 affair. Harrison moving on the pitch, and it didn't matter one bit. That's the first home run allowed by Malley in his career. It is 6th major league start. Polanco, #1 on his list, and #3 overall this year.
It's one thing, though, pitching in Cincinnati, he's going to give up some home runs. Is that changeup? Nice changeup he hit out.
One of the things we were thinking about earlier, that I've seen Malley not do great with that changeup. Hit toward the notch. Marte can run.
About 6 inches from a home run.
He was watching it a bit and will be satisfied with that 2-base hit. He hit that one a long way. It's a home run in a lot of ballparks. So a couple of really well hit balls all of a sudden. And Polanco gets those arms extended, huh?
That's a nice swing on a
Yeah.
changeup too. He's not, you know, out over the plate or anything, fooled on it at all.
Statcast says 401 for Polanco, 404 for Marte.
Hanging breaking ball. Marte hit it to the big part of the yard.
And for the first time really today, some really well hit balls off Malley. The 3rd time around the order. The Pirates are 3 for 3 against the young pitcher. Looking for more with 1 out. And the first activity, Amir Garrett, who began last season in the Reds rotation, working out of their pen to begin this year. Well, it's popped out and bounced out. The speedy Marte on at second with one out. Hit it to me, hit it to me. Josh will be glad to try. Well, with one home run this year.
They're waiting.
See, they brought their gloves today. That's smart. Now, they may not hit the kids, but it's going to get Marte in. And Bell took a big turn. And it tagged him. He's out. RBI single for Bell, but that's the second out of the inning. 4-0 Pirates.
And Malley able to put that pitch right where he wanted to. And the target was up and in. He throws that ball 2 strikes. Perfect spot, but just kind of fought off. Now Bell very strong, even though that ball got on the handle of the bat, able to just kind of push it out into the outfield. Maybe assuming that that ball was going to go to the plate. Right there, he thinks, okay, that ball's going home. Well, no, it's not. It got cut off, and now I'm out.
Corey Dickerson lined out hard to center his last time. 0 for 2 today. Bell an RBI single, 6th RBI. 4-0 Pirate lead. They built a 4-0 lead after 2 innings last night. The difference is that their starting pitcher today, instead of being in nearly 100 pitches in the 5th like Malley is, like Cool was last night, Tyone, Pirate starter at 54 pitches. He's been dominant. And when we talked about the Pirate bullpen, and in fact, really a lot of bullpens in baseball, you know, that 6th inning is so pivotal. Not when you're starting pitcher.
In the old days, the starter would pitch the 6th inning, so you didn't have to worry about the bullpen. Then, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Today,
well, maybe the starter needs to pitch 6 innings.
How about Dickerson? Welcome to PNC Park. Corey Dickerson, his first home run as a Pirate.
He didn't need that that short porch out in right field, and we talked about that a lot when they traded for him, about how, well, you know, not very deep out there. It should be good for him hitting home runs. We could have been playing in the, it didn't matter where, any ballpark, and that is well out.
398 feet and about the same spot that Polanco hit his, so those guys are happy. Look at that swing.
Well, that's what happens when you crack the seal.
What an inning for the Pirates. 5 straight hits. That 3rd time around in the order, Malley gave up 5 straight hits. The Pirates with 4 across in the frame, leading 5-0. That's going to be it for the starter, Amir Garrett, coming on for Cincinnati. His first is a bucko. 5-0. Knocking Malley out after 4 2/3. Amir Garrett now on. The ex-Pirate Phil Goslin is over at third.
Hey, this Pirate offense is. You think about what they're doing, and you know, you can say, well, it's, you know, maybe not the best pitching that you're going to see throughout the course of the season, but look at the temperatures, look at the weather these hitters are hitting in it. It's definitely impressive in that regard.
Best start for the Pirates offense in 95 years. And Gregory Polanco, 13 runs batted in already. And Corey Dickerson with home run number 1, having some fun on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm wondering what exactly he was saying there.
I guess it'll get sorted out afterward. Meanwhile, the Pirates bats doing the talking here. And boosting Jamison Tyone, who drove in the first run of the game. So he's given up 1 hit so far. That was to Tyler Malley, the opposing starter. Now facing his ex-teammate Phil Goslin. Tyone 4 strikeouts, no walks. He's not walked a batter this year in his first 10 1/3 innings. Make it 5 strikeouts.
I was about to say, kind of calm down on the strikeouts after he got those 3 quick ones, which is good for that pitch count. But heck, you look at it this way, a strikeout is fine if you're getting it early. You know?
Right.
And, you know, 3 pitches, 4 pitches, maybe even 5 pitches. That's okay. There's curveball for a strike to start off a hitter. It's almost kind of like a little trademark. It's like, okay, here, let's just get ahead with this hook here. Is that changeup? Beautiful pitch.
2 outs on 5 pitches.
What's the location of that changeup? You know, not only does he have good arm action, but just perfect spot. Here it is. Look at the location here. A little movement. It's starting to fall away a little and runs right to the end of the bat.
And way out in front.
Yeah.
Soft contact.
You get the swing way out in the front. Front side is gone. Shoulder on the hitter starts to pull.
Look at the lowdown. Anthony Rizzo telling reporters he may not be able to play in the home opener tomorrow with back concern. He's already missed a couple of games in a row. Scheduled off day Tuesday, so if he does sit out, then that would give him another day.
There it is. Hook for a strike.
I think Jameson Tylen's going to be an all-star this year. I'm not judging that by it, his game today specifically. I just, with everything that happened to him last season, he had 2 really poor starts at the end of July and early August that skewed his numbers. I mean, otherwise he'd have about a, I don't know, he would have had a 3.5 ERA last year. And, I mean, we've watched him for a couple of years now. I mean, wouldn't you think he's one of the better pitchers in the National League already? And if he takes that next step forward, now he's going to start charging among the elite. And quick innings, a big cause of that. He's rolling right along through 6.
Or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's right. Let's go Bucks. So far, 5-0. It has been mostly Pirates in this series. Reds winning last night, but after the Pirates took an early 4-0 lead. Moran with the base hit his last time. Facing Amir Garrett, who came on in relief of Malley. Dickerson and Polanco, the home run men. This is how I hit my home runs. How do you hit yours? Same way. Yeah, this Pirates offense has been really formidable, and for Pirate history, getting off to this kind of start offensively, the amount of runs they've scored in the first 8 games, not including today. The last time they did that was 1923. They scored 53 runs.
Yeah, it's a really amazing. I'm so used to, I guess, talking about how the bats will heat up when the weather turns, that sort of thing, and that's very common to see teams get that are in bad weather, cold weather, get off the slow starts with the bat. And much easier really to pitch than it is to hit when You get those cold winds.
Pirates have embraced the cold weather.
Not that it's easy to do either one, but pitchers almost always have the advantage. Last inning, you look at the distance and the exit velocities of these balls. 102, 107 for Marte, went 404 feet. This is 106, went 398. Marte hit the double, and he hit his ball the hardest. But you got that notch out there, 410 feet, and that will occasionally, we've seen it, take a home run from somebody, and it robbed Marte.
And Marte said done his share of robbing home runs. Those guys have been happy. They've been had a couple of balls out their way. Mercer's having a great series. And Hamilton covers a lot of ground. That looked like that was ticketed for the gap. He's one of the fastest. He and Buxton of the Twins, those guys which we've seen in this homestand, they can get into those gaps out there. Tyon brought in the game's first run with a single back in the second. He's pitching a one-hit shutout through 6. Might have cracked his bat. Nope. Well, he's going to see. That's what you do. You turn the bat upside down and you can kind of hear the sound, and yeah, it did crack his bat. If you've ever seen a hitter do that, where they grab the bat by the barrel and tap the handle on the ground, that's what they're looking to do. They're seeing if.
Yeah, it's like a tuning fork.
Yeah.
You know? If you hear that rattle, you know it's busted. You get that nice boom, boom. Oh, it's okay.
The sounds of baseball.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Otherwise, it's just, what's it sound like?
Might beat this out. Oh.
1-2-3 inning for Garrett in relief. Tyon back out with a 5-0 lead. Start off on top. RBI single, Jamison Tyon. Jamison Tyone with a fantastic afternoon already. 6 shutout innings on 1 hit. Pirates have a 5-0 lead. Tyone still plenty of room to go here. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game. Just now seeing the 3rd time around on the order. He's faced just 1 over the minimum. Cliff Pennington batting for the first time. He came in as a defensive replacement for Eugenio Suarez, who left unofficially with a right thumb concern. He was hit with a pitch on that thumb that was pinned against the bat. And he stayed into a run, but then came out before he took the field. Tyone has allowed a single and a hit batter. That's been it. And now with another strikeout. 6 Ks for Tyone.
Yeah, nice job this at bat of moving the ball around and, you know, giving some looks up, down and away, and then a little paint right on the inside corner. See Cervelli's glove and the ball, just he didn't have to move it. Just hold it there, and then when the ball hit it, close the glove.
6 strikeouts, 4 looking for Tyone. And just now he'll be throwing his 70th pitch here in the 7th. He's the first Pirate pitcher to record it, starting pitcher to record it out in the 7th, or even pitch into the 7th this year.
Has he walked anybody yet in this game?
Not this season.
Well, I know he didn't walk anybody last time, so that's where I was kind of going with that.
Hit batter and a single, only base runner.
Still hadn't walked anybody.
Votto's 0 for 2. The king of walks. Called a ball.
Ball? No wonder he's the king of walks.
And a wobbly strike zone today. Getting that contact, and the second out. Tyone with a fantastic afternoon. Quickly 2 gone. Pirates 6-pack here to save on great seats at PNC Park all season long. You choose any 6 games and lock in prices for your favorite seating category. Plans start at $114, and for a limited time each 6-pack comes with $15 in loaded value. Good for concessions and merchandise. Pirates.com/6-pack. Ball 1 to Scooter Gennett, 0 for 2. The only guy that's not 0 for 2 today is Tyler Mahle, who has the lone Reds hit, the Reds starting pitcher today. Called a strike. Tried with the change of pace, which Tyone was talking about. A lot of guys were saying, hey, are you throwing a cutter? I even asked him the same question. Are you throwing a cutter? Because it has a late movement to it. He says, no, that the changeup, he's just able to command it better now, and been able to really just harness where it's at. Ray Searage, and really from Ray on down, everybody in the Pirate system preaching about the changeup. There's the first walk of the season allowed by Tyone. 12 innings in.
Left fielder,
And now that's become a go-to pitch for him. Still his 3rd pitch, but one that he feels that he's comfortable throwing at any time. Whereas before it was more of a show pitch. Adam Duvall. Three hits this year, 2 have left the park. Hitting at 111. You go 3 for 27 middle of the season. You know, you probably know it, but it's not a big deal. When you start the year that way.
Well, especially if a couple of them are home runs and you kind of ignore it a little bit.
Yeah. Getting ahead early.
Next week he has a couple multi-hit games and he'll be okay.
Behind to 2-1 after the walk to Jeanette. Watching the highlights, Andrew McCutcheon with the game-winning home run for the Giants last night. He had 6 hits. He had only, I think he started 2 for 27. And you have a day like that, and then you can get your batting average back up here early in the season. And Tyone, 7 scoreless innings. He has been fantastic working with this 5-0 lead here on this Sunday afternoon. And as per tradition,
it's brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Jamison Tyone, a one-hitter through 7. Just what the doctor ordered. Pirates have given him a 5-0 lead. In fact, he has helped himself here today at the plate as well with a base hit to drive in the game's first run in the 2nd inning.
He's out for a Sunday drive.
And he's been doing it on the mound as well.
Looks just like his first start. Just great fastball command. Except one fastball.
Eugenio Suarez leaving the game after being struck with on the right thumb with that pitch. And the Pirates, offensively speaking, Gregory Polanco with 13 RBIs already, his 3rd home run. Corey Dickerson not to be outdone, his first as a Pirate. All against Tyler Mahle, the first 2 home runs allowed in that young man's career. The Pirates score 4 times, 5 hits in a row in that 5th inning. That'll make you want to dance. Pirates trying to take 3 out of 4 from Cincinnati. If they do, it'll be a 4-2 homestand and a 7-2 start to the season, which the Pirates have not done in 25 years. Clint Hurdle measured in his response to that, saying that it's a good start, and I think the Pirates, who have believed since early February that they have a shot at being a good team this year, well, I'm sure that only reinforces their belief that they've got a shot at being a good team. But of course, this early in the season, you can't take anything for granted. We're getting some bad news for the Reds as Josh Harrison wraps his 2nd hit today, and Eugenio Suarez sustained a fracture of that right thumb on that hit by pitch.
That is definitely bad news for the Reds.
Just over a week into the season.
Huge part of their offense.
He was the hero last night with those 5 RBIs, the game tying hit, and then the go-ahead hit. And signing that 7-year contract extension last month for Cincinnati. Tyon hit him with a pitch. And the Reds, who have been in the cellar in recent years, but have a good number of young players, especially hitters, don't want to have that unexpected circumstance occur right at the beginning of the season. Polanco with a single and that 2-run home run today. Already 13 runs batted in. This is game 9.
They got a couple of hard throwing lefties. Peralta came in last night, hit 96 a couple of times. Garrett throwing a nice easy 95.
Do you remember him last year when he started against the Pirates? You know, I was starting to think, man, this guy could be really something, and ended up having a hip problem. And he said that, you know, whenever he would land, you know, with that right foot, it felt like it hurt so badly that just an inflammation, the kind of burning feeling. So he started pitching differently, obviously, when you're in pain like that. And ended up with the ERA over 7. His first 3 starts, you know, got off.
You got to be really careful with that. I mean, there's guys that have hurt their arm trying to change their delivery to pitch around some kind of an injury.
And he ended up a short DL stint, but otherwise played the whole year. That's going to be a double play.
Like Jay forgot they were in a shift.
Yeah, normally the second baseman playing more up the middle, that would just be a base hit.
Yeah, in the old days, that's a.
But back in 2010, the old days.
That's first and third right there. I mean, it's a line drive, almost like just about over his head, right?
And now it's not like you can just take a glance when the at bat begins, because we see shifts within the at bats. Either taken on, taken off.
You take a secondary lead off first base, there's somebody right behind you. They got a shift on. Mid-90s fastball.
Before I knew it, he had already caught the ball.
That's one of the things with that line drive to that side of the field. If you don't just absolutely, freeze and head back already, you're going to get doubled off. Line drive over to third or the shortstop, you got a little bit of time to stop your momentum and head back to first. But that one is right behind you.
Rolled to Goslin. Hit, no one left. Pirates can't wait to see Tyone get back out there for the 8th. Flyers in the first round of the playoffs. Schedule's going to be announced coming up, but you can find the Penguins right here on your playoff home in the first round. AT&T Sportsnet. 5-0 Pirates here. Good luck to the Pens.
All right,
Rich off to a good start this season. And Jamison Tyone really showing his wares this afternoon. He's allowed one hit. That was to the opposing pitcher, Tyler Mahle. A single back in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, just a seeing eye single. Just a little ground ball that went right back up over the top of the mound and dribbled out in the center field. So he has been dominant.
.84 pitches. If he's just doing what he's doing right now, he's going to go the route today. He's never had a complete game in the major leagues. And Tyone has twice had a complete game in the minor leagues, but this is back in Bradenton in 2012. One went 6 innings, one went 5 innings, which aren't really complete games, I guess. Probably rain shortened. Let's look at our Nissan road ahead. The Pirates will head on the road and open Wrigley Field for 2018. Tyler Chatwood, the free agent signee, will go for Chicago. Ivan Nova, no stranger to opening days. It's the nod for the Buccos. Afternoon baseball tomorrow from Wrigley.
Chatwood 6 base on balls in that first start. You gotta like that. Hopefully that will continue. We'll take some free base runners. Pop one over the bricks.
Devin Mesoraco pinch hitting for Garrett. Colin Moran making a nifty grab.
Look at that big smile on his face, huh? Nice little jump on that ball. He had to go a ways to get it.
Yeah, step and a dive, not just a dive, yeah. Thanks, friend.
A couple very stoic individuals there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, that's great. What did Yogi Berra say? 90% of the game is half mental. I mean,
something like that.
Yeah. If you can get that part going, then your stuff can really shine, right? I mean, look at Tyon, all the things that he's been through in his career, on and off the field, being diagnosed with testicular cancer during the season last year, coming back 5 weeks later and still in remission. The tests getting farther and farther spaced apart, becoming more and more never gone. It's never not part of his life, but at least right now not the major thing going on in his mind at all times. He's able to focus on his craft, and it has been very enjoyable to watch him work today. He has walked one, hit a batter, and allowed one single. And on 3-2, Jamison Tyon has 8 shutout innings. And room to go for the 9th, too. 5-0 Pirates. Been so good that bullpen doesn't even need to get going. And Clint Hurdle, yeah, you got the 9? Yeah, I got the 9. Yeah, in command. 94 pitches for Tyon through 8 innings. He's given up 1 hit, a single.
Well, let's pile on here.
I like the way you say that. Last time the Reds had a man in scoring position, that was when Suarez hit a home run last night. Giovanni Gallardo pitched on Friday, gave up 6 runs in a third of an inning. The former Brewer on his 5th team in 5 years now, after being in camp with the Brewers. Josh Bell, an RBI single his last time around. Part of that 4-run 5th inning.
I think it was Gallardo years ago. Beat the Pirates 1-0. And hit a solo home run for the only Brewer run.
I think you're right. He was a very good hitter earlier in his career.
Cannot do much better than that. 1-0 complete game victory. I don't know if it was a complete game, but I know he hit the home run.
12 career home runs for Gallardo. And you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Yeah, earlier in his career, Gallardo was quite formidable. 14 strikeouts, no walks against the Pirates right after the All-Star break in 2012. Striking out the side in that 7th and final inning, but has tried to find himself again here, even though he's just 32 years old. Dickerson with a home run into the right field seats his last time around. Goslin is the third baseman on the right side there, playing Red Rover. Remember that game?
No.
Red Rover let Corey come over, and then you're holding out your arms and you see if they can, and you hold the other person's hand and see if they can run through your joined hands. Red Rover.
I don't think we had that one. That's
not in the desert.
It didn't make it west of Mississippi.
Okay. About what time is it, Mr. Fox? No?
No.
Okay. Dickerson with that home run, his first as a Pirate. Enjoying a terrific series. 7 hits, 6 for extra bases against the Reds. And from Mark, look at that. Jonah got Corey Dickerson to come over. Here on Kids Day, really any day, at the ball yard. That's what makes baseball special, right? I mean, the interaction with players, the proximity. You can get an autograph, maybe a chance to wave, or sometimes you see guys play catch with somebody in the seats, you know, if they don't have the bullpen catcher out and left, or you know. It's a great game.
I think the guys really, they pay attention, especially those first couple rows. They know where the kids are and where they're going to give somebody a ball, or make sure they stop on the way running back to the dugout in between innings. Just a quick word, hi, acknowledge that they're there. It means so much to the children. And not just to come to the ballpark, but to be up there by the front row and have somebody stop and talk to you. Can't imagine what that was. What if Al Kaline would have stopped and had a conversation with you when you were 10?
You know, or who? Yeah, right. You know,
just stop, shake your hand, and you having a good day? You having fun today? You know, any little thing.
Remember, after a game, I got to meet Johnny Grubb. Remember Johnny Grubb, the outfielder, pinch hitter at that time in his career. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Oh my God, you just played in the game, and now you're going to sign my scorebook. And I took that scorebook to school and showed everybody, and then I left it at school. Never saw it again. Oops. But for a day, it was really fun. And I got the memory. Cervelli works a 2-out walk. And look at Cervelli hitting him a foul ball. making his day. One day he'll actually touch that ball when he's able to take his gloves off. Pretty chilly today. Bundle up the little ones, yeah. Those guys saw a couple balls out their way. Polanco, Dickerson homering out into the right field seats.
They're wanting another one.
Moran starting off his Pirates tenure here at PNC Park with a bang with that grand slam beginning the homestand. Third Pirate to hit one on opening day here in Pittsburgh. And a foul ball. Trying to add some insurance for Jameson Taillon. One hit shutout through 8 innings so far, and he's going to go back out for the 9th.
A tough one to lay off of right there, but that two-strike approach that I'm sure Moran is in right now allowed him to say no to that slower breaking pitch.
All alone in the Pirates dugout.
Keeping those hands warm. Again, able to say no. That ball looks, very inviting as it's going in there. He's not throwing it real hard, and most of the trip it's up high enough to hit. Right at the end, the breaking pitch spin makes it head for the dirt. But if you're trying to pull the ball, you're trying to be quick, you're going to swing and miss that pitch.
Moran picks up another hit. His second single today. Two on with two out.
Hey, here you go. Two-strike approach. You're staying back, just trying to hit the ball the other direction. They're trying to cut the ball in on your hands, and you just fight it off, push it out the left field for the hit. Almost Votto-like kind of stuff we've seen Joey Votto over the years. The way he'll adjust his approach as the at-bat that goes along, whatever the game calls for. Game situation.
Right field very inviting, but Winker able to bring it in, and Jameson Taillon will have a chance for his first shutout, leading 5-0. Can't wait for the conclusion of this one, but we got to tell you about what the Pirates are going to be doing over the rest of the week. They're going to go to Chicago, take on the Cubs in opening day from Wrigley. Ivan Nova will get the ball. Our coverage will begin at 1:30 right here on AT&T Sportsnet. It's brought to you by WB Mason. A special outing today from Mr. Tyone. Out there for the 9th inning for the first time in his career. Just one hit. That was off the bat of Tyler Malley, his opposing starting pitcher today. A single. The Reds have not had a runner in scoring position. He has hit a batter and has walked one. And he's ahead. 2 strikes on Hamilton, with Winker and Pennington to follow before Votto, if it gets there. This is one of those games that you remember, not just for Tyone, but anyone associated with it. Whether we've watched it, played in it, played with him, or just even heard about it. A 1-hit shutout here into the 9th, and he's got 1 out. Seven strikeouts for Tyone.
Nice. Not giving in, even with the big lead here late in the ball game. He tries to hit the corner. Cervelli sitting right there on the edge.
1 for every strikeout. That's how the game started with Winker.
Curveball, strike 1.
Ray Searage looking on as well. Softly hit. And Harrison has the 2nd out.
Yeah, nicely played.
And again, moving right along as he's done all afternoon long. Just now surpassing 100 pitches. And an out away from a 1-hit shutout. Done only twice this century by a Pirates pitcher. Cliff Pennington standing in his way. Ball 1. Very few hard hit balls today, too, from Cincinnati. It has been a dominant showing for Tyone. But he's behind here, 3-0.
Don't get in a hurry.
We got Votto next. There's a strike. This afternoon has belonged to Tyone. And he loses Pennington with 2 outs. And now he'll have to go through Votto.
First baseman, Joey Votto.
That's a pretty good pitch.
And for the first time today, Clint Hurdle has had to call the bullpen. Rivero had just been stretching out there. That's his first warm-up toss. So Tyone's going to get a little room here. There's the first time a Red is in scoring position all day. Moving up on indifference. Votto held to an 0 for 3 afternoon. Can Tyone finish the shutout? And now he's a strike away from it. Only one hit today back in the third inning, a single by Tyler Malley, the only blemish. Now Votto is switching his bat with Scooter Gennett's bat. And he wants a different size bat. Now the master craftsman with 2 strikes has something in mind. Caught! And that'll do it. A shutout, a one-hitter for Jamison Tyone.
That is outstanding to see him go out there and just take charge the way he did. Been a lot of talk this year about him taking over a huge role on this club as a leader, certainly of the pitching staff. You saw all the starters standing there, smiles on their faces as they were watching their guy pitch that 9th inning. Means a lot to him, and Tyone is fitting right into that leader role on this club.
What a game. You called it, Bob. You said you wanted him to pitch the 6th. How about the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th, too?
He did a phenomenal job.
A one-hit shutout for Jamison Tyone, the first time that he's pitched in the 9th inning in his career.
That catch to end the game. That was a nice job by Dickerson. I mean, we've had
shoestring ground.
We've had his defense kind of under the microscope a little bit since he got traded over here. And he's done nothing but, I think, play great out in left field. This is a nice little catch to end this game on. I mean, just running hard straight in and picking it right off the grass. Great job. Good way to end the masterpiece.
The only hit against him, the opposing pitcher Tyler Malley, a single back in the 3rd. Only the 3rd time this century a Pirates pitcher with a one-hit shutout or better. A.J. Burnett in 2012, Todd Ritchie in 2001, and now Jamison Tyone on this first Sunday afternoon at PNC Park. Put him on the list as well. And let's go downstairs to Robbie Itzbukowski.
Joe, how about a complete game, one-hit shutout for Jamison Tyone? This man once in high school threw a 19 strikeout no-hitter. But man, what a performance it was today against the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh,
what does that feel like in 35 degrees?
Yeah, it's cold, but I think we're all cold, so it's all good. But yeah, man, that was a fun game to pitch. 2-seam was working well. They've got a really good lineup, and they've given me some trouble in the past, so it felt good to finish one out.
You know, Clint Hurdle walked over to you after the top of the 8th inning, said one quick word and walked away. How quick? What went into that discussion? How bad you want the 9th?
Yeah, he said, "Do you have any pitches left?" And I don't even know if I answered it. I just looked at him, and he said, "Go get it. It's yours."
You were extremely efficient in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. What led to that, and how did that help you in the 7th, 8th, and 9th?
Yeah, it saved me some pitches. 2 seams. Early in counts, behind in counts. The 2-seam was kind of putting the ball on the ground, and the guys were making plays.
In the 8th, Moran nabs a liner. Corey Dickerson to end the ball game. What do you have to say about your defense?
Yeah, that play Jay Hay made too. The double play they've turned earlier. The work Servey did behind the plate. Baseball's a team game. It takes everybody.
You know, this is the ultimate individual accomplishment, a complete game. What kind of pride do you take in having days like today?
Yeah, I mean, most starting pitchers nowadays don't get to see the 7th or 8th. So as a starter, I take pride in trying to go as deep as I can.
How about when you look at this team? Not all people expected 7-2 in the first 9 games of 2018.
Yeah.
What has fueled this ball club?
Yeah, we're off to a good start. You know, the vibe in the clubhouse all spring was really strong. We knew we had a really good squad coming out, so we got to keep it going, but we're playing pretty good right now.
Congratulations, Jamison.
Thank you.
How about it? Jamison Tyone, Paul and Michael, the complete game. 1 hit, 7 strikeout shutout. What a day.
Yeah, Robbie and Jamison, awesome. And you didn't even touch on his RBI single, for heaven's sakes. The guy did it all today. What a day to remember for Jamison Tyone. And you know what? After that disappointment of last night, losing that 4-0 lead, we knew today was pivotal. Today was the key to validate this start. And you go 3-4 against the Reds, and Jamison Tyone does what he did. This was a statement game, I believe, for the Pirates.
It was a huge statement. It was a passing of the baton, in my opinion, today. He's the ace. He's the leader. He did it with his voice today. He did it with his emotions. He did it with his ability to pitch. This guy's awesome. He got his ice bath early just a minute ago. But what I love is his poise and his presence he has on the mound. He was outstanding today. I was a fan, and I can't wait to see him pitch again.
It was fantastic, and as we promised throughout the broadcast, it is time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. And yes, we're going to go right back to Jamison Tyone. There he is with the stick. Showed a lot of lumber there. The RBI single, that run was pretty much all that was needed today because Jamison Tyone was electric. He was efficient. He was just throwing so many of his pitches in so many good spots. He had location, he had velocity. He pretty much had it all. This one is going to be fun to break down, and Michael McHenry now will be doing that straight ahead on Pirates Postgame. It's presented by the Allegheny Health Network, and it's right here on AT&T Sportsnet. You don't want to go anywhere. Stick around. Michael and I will be right back.